Alright, this is Calibos, and we are playing Project Ozone 3. So, I know what the problem is now. The problem is this. The FTB Utilities chunk loader doesn't really. It just pretends. It's called soft loading or some garbage like that, but it doesn't work. It works for the purposes of keeping machines going, but it doesn't work for anything else. And so anything that has to actually interact that isn't like what FTB considers a machine, it just doesn't work. So I have moved around that by going ahead and making chicken chunk loaders, which is amazing, mostly because they work. So we're just going to pop this here, and we're going to give it a little bit of a radius thing, show lasers. Everything in this area is actually chunk loaded. And this actually is going to help the AE stuff. And that's part of the problem that I've been having with AE is, oh, you know what, let's just move this so it hits the entire base. Is the FTB isn't actually keeping AE loaded. So it's a super hassle, and I do not like it. So if I put it here, we want to show lasers. So that's everything up to there. So let's make it slightly bigger. How far out is this? I can't tell. But it should make stuff better. So you'll now notice that it's got oil. And if we go to home oil, which is right here, it's basically got all of it. And this system is working just great. I don't even need this. Oh, gosh. And now I'm stuck in a hole. So I don't actually even need to do this anymore. So let's go ahead and pick our nonsense up. We have a lot of nonsense here. So I don't know how much oil we're going to need, but now that we know about the chunk loading issue, life is going to be better. Life is going to be better all the way around. So let's get rid of that. We don't need it. I also want to get rid of that. That can go away. So let's come over here. We want a put the builder down. We'll tell it to power it. We'll put the tank on top, and now we'll tell it to start. So it should go pretty quick. That's crazy, right? Look at that. Actual work. Difficulty we're having is that the touted speed of the instantaneous transfer from the ender fluid constant stuff is not as instantaneous as it says. So we're going to go look for some more oil really quick, and we're going to fix this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that we can't fly here. That's angry making. I don't... So if you are also having trouble with kind of things like that, use the chicken chunks loader instead of the FTB chunk loader, because like I have discovered, it is basically garbage. It does not do what we want it to do. Looks like there's some oil over that way. Is that oil? I hope that's oil. Kind of heading towards a dark spot on the map and hoping for the best. If it is not immediately oil, then we are going to not worry about it, I think. No, boom. Hi. Excuse me. Bye. Okay, I don't think that it was oil. So oh my god, seriously. Let's break this. It can't be bad, right? Oh, it's pickles. Mob. We don't have any plastic in the system? How do we not have any plastic in the system? Alright, pickles. Deal with it. Alright, well, I think that I am already tired of looking, so we're gonna go home. How's that? Boom. I will do some searching later on, so that we can get more. Like I said, I don't know precisely how much more we're gonna need, but this setup should allow us to collect all of what we have. We don't have that much actually. We've only got 815 buckets. I would like to void the water, so we'll do that at some point. Let's charge the jetpack again. I need to update or upgrade the jetpack to something reasonable. Anyway, so now we have oil, and what we can do is we can actually make another tank. So this will be our into storage tank, and thus it is black, because black leads to all the cool things. So an oil tank, we'll make it ender tank. We'll need 2 of them. I mean, I'll just make 10 for the moment, and we'll pretend I made 2. So we'll need black ink. No, it's ink sac. That's what they are. 2, 3, 1, 2. Oops. I can count. Well, I'll probably screw it up anyway. So we'll go ahead and say that this one is white. So white tank, we'll do it here, and then we'll do that, and then we'll say it is, oil is that. Come on, go. So these are both the same, and we're gonna pull it out of oil. So this is always active extract, and this is insert, go. So now, and I'm going to do this for all of the fluids. Lava's actually going to go into the tank up there. I may swap it for one of these. But yeah, I may swap it for one of these black hole tanks, because I think they hold more than the demonically gargantuan ones, which hold 65 million. This holds, let's see, 100,000. What is that? 480,000. 2,100,000,000 and, or I can math. Maybe I can't math. 480,000. So it's 483 buckets. 147 million buckets, 2 billion buckets, and that's more than I can reasonably think of using in a world. So, yeah, sure, right? Next step. So now that we have oil, we need to process the oil because we have to look at what do we need for plastic. We need specifically liquid plastic. So in order to make liquid plastic, we have to process LPG, and LPG we get from a refinery, or this thermopneumatic process, which makes it from fuel. And fuel we can get from kerosene, which we can get from diesel, which we can get from the distillation tower from Just Enough Petroleum. Which seems terrible. So if we go ahead and do the refinery from Pneumaticraft, so our second tank will give us, basically we'll get 20%, which is actually a lot more than we're going to get going the other way, and I think it's a straight conversion. So if we do the 4-high tower, yeah, we have this one. So if we do the 4-high tower, we'll get all of these, which we may need, and we can just store them in tanks until we get it. So we'll make 4 of the refinery. Which we'll have to power from Pneumaticraft stuff, which is going to be this nonsense over here. So how many refineries? Do we have the recipe for refinery? Refinery, we do. So we can make, how many do we have? I think we have a refinery. We do not have a refinery. So let's look at the refinery. We'll make 4 of them. 4, go, go. Instant refinery, we're amazing, right? So I saw a really good build for this, and I am going to use it. So it helps that we have a lava tank. Lava. Ender tank. Ender tank. So we need to be able to break blocks. Let's see if we actually have a block breaker in the system. Block breaker. So this one will work. And we'll take that. And now we have a block breaker. We want something that kind of works all the time, actually. So hopefully this is that. Although I think this automatically breaks stuff too. So let's look into the machine frame. Machine frame. Go. So we want the block breaker. We want specifically this one. So we want 2 of these iron gears. 1, 2. We want gold gear. We want an iron shovel. We want an iron pick. I think we need to run upstairs and check for plastic. So we have a lot of this, honestly. So let's chuck all of the tiny dry rubber in there. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. So now we have 64 of these. We just need to cook it. Man, hate how long cooking stuff takes around here. It's terrible. Man, that took forever. Alright, so now we have everything we need for this. Where's the machine frame? Machine frame. Alright, so we have the block breaker. It only needs power to work. So we want something that places liquids. So, liquid... how do we place liquids? Place liquid. Fluid placer. That seems fun. Fluid placer. So this requires a casing, which requires an iron casing, which requires that. So now we have an iron casing. We need some Inori crystal blocks. So in order to make Inori crystals, we're going to need to use the atomic reconstructor and throw down for some iron. So let's do that. Let's get some iron. Boom. So now we have some Inori crystal blocks, 1 or 2 of them. Wow, that gave us 32 casings. Alright, so fluid placer, we need 2 of these silly tanks, 1, 2. We need that. Now we have a fluid placer. So here's kind of my plan for this. And I don't know if this is a great plan, but this is the one that I have. So we're going to go ahead and take a spot. We'll do it here so that we can have it near where our stuff is going. And then we're going to go down. We want to pick some of that. Hop down here. Alright. So we'll do that. I want to break this out. Break this out. And we want to have a block breaker facing the other way, facing this way. Oh my gosh, really? There we go. And we want to have the fluid placer which way is it facing? Okay, so this must be the side that places fluids. So we want to do it there. And then we're going to get rid of this. We're going to place another one down, put the tank there, and we will tell it to export, come on, into that. So now, this isn't going to work because it only breaks blocks. There you go. So we're going to go ahead and find you a power cell. We got one right here. It's amazing. So now I don't know if I like that. That's not cool. Well, that's weird. It's not flowing anywhere. So let's try a different block breaker. I've got this one. So this one requires a I don't know. No big deal off the top of my head. So we'll place a block there. And then we're going to go ahead and place the refineries on top of this. So one of the reasons that we wanted to place the... So this will automatically put lava underneath it, right? No big deal. And this will break solid blocks. Hopefully just the solid blocks. The deal is that the refinery takes the heat out of the lava, and there's a chance every tick that it goes ahead and changes the lava into obsidian. So, awkwardly, we would have to keep breaking this, and we don't want to do that. So, that's what the block breaker is for. So, we're going to check for... So, oil, now we can get rid of this. We can place the oil going in. Do you want to have the oil going in here? So you'll notice that there's now obsidian underneath, and this is filled with oil. It needs to get up there. So we are going to go ahead and take the clock and hope that this works. Okay, so this works very badly. What about a plane? Annihilation plane. So you'll now notice that we have diesel in this one, kerosene in that, fuel in that, and LPG in the top. Sweet, huh? So this is working. I do have to fix the weird thing with the obsidian, and I'm hoping that now that everything is chunk loaded, that we can, that I can just use the identity plane to only break obsidian. Oh my gosh. So let's get some cabling really quick. Smirt cable. And then connect it to over there. I think that there should be enough channels to this. This connects to that. 7 channels. 19. Plenty of channels. Plenty of channels. So let's connect it and see what happens. One channel. Shouldn't be missing a channel. There we go. So now we'll turn that off and we'll put this in there. And so this is going to make us infinite obsidian eventually over time. Not that we had any trouble with infinite obsidian. So it's just a matter of pulling stuff off of this now, the various fluids, and piping it to where we need it to go. So I do like this setup. It's a lot neater than I would have made on my own. The last time I did this, I think I ended up using heating coils, and you had to like put a heating coil against each one. Then you had to power the heating coils from the air compressors. But this setup works. The setup is a lot cleaner. I like the fact that the identity pointing here just is going to immediately take objects as they become objects. So, yep, this is a very sweet setup. Anyway, we made progress. We'll make a little bit more next episode. Now we can just go ahead and pump this stuff into our storage. So I don't know how fast this is going to go down. Yeah, we're actually going to probably have to get more oil. But I will work on farming some more oil between episodes. And I'm also going to figure out or designate channels for the ender tanks for the various different chemicals and add them to the tank farm. And we'll work on stuff from there. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm glad you guys showed up. You leave me very helpful and encouraging comments. So yeah, you folks have a great night.